go ahead and hit record. All right. How are you today?
I'm good. We just got back yesterday from Colorado. So I'm a little stuffy, but other than that,
Well, I get that. It's allergy season. Fall and
uh
spring. Fall and spring.
yep. It gets me every time, but it's always usually about just 1 week out of the year, so
Yeah.
I can deal with it.
Right. Um, so I've got some questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, we saw some of your interviews and some of your stuff, and I was so fascinated. I told my husband, I said, I've got to talk to this kid. So you have lived a lot of life in your short, what, 23?
21.
21 years.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
goodness gracious. Yeah. Would you consider yourself a child prodigy?
You know, I I think there's a lot of kids that could pick as good as I could pick at the age that I could do it. I was blessed enough with the opportunities on top of that to get
Yeah.
in front of some eyeballs. In the bluegrass world, I would not consider myself a child prodigy because I know there's a
Really?
bunch of kids that can pick better than I can right now at 10 years old. But I think in the mainstream source of things, with having the national TV appearances
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff, that I was blessed enough to have the opportunity to do. I'd say some people would consider me one. And yeah, it's one of those things where the right things happen at the right time. The good Lord was looking out for us at the right time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that firmly. So my husband and I have had this discussion because I love bluegrass, but trying to define bluegrass and figure out how it's different from country. What is your take on that?
I that's a great question because it really is. There's a lot of you get into the meat and potatoes of it, and it's really hard to put a label on it.
Right.
Bluegrass and country, they both got started in the same manner. And I think when you start, the best way to look at the history of it is to start at the 1929 sessions in Bristol,
Yeah.
and with the Carter family and all the OGs of
Yeah.
bluegrass and country music, when it was really started to get spread out to the masses. Um, that's where at least I have looked into the history of it. I'm sure it goes back way before that, but yeah, I think somewhere along the lines of adding percussion and that kind of is when the two kind of started to split off.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm by no means a music historian, so I'm probably I'm probably failing this question here, but I think
No. Hey,
I think
your answer
go
is
ahead.
your answer is a lot more clear than my dear husband's. So let's just say that.
It's really muddy. It really is. And you still see it today with, well, once country really started to modernize, I guess the pop country kind of stuff is its own thing. But when you look at even up to 80s and 90s country music, we do some of those stuff in our show with bluegrass, and it sounds like bluegrass music, if
It is
if you play it, yeah,
no.
if you play it along the format of the genre, it's very similar. It's most of the time it's same kind of beat.
Yeah.
Just the only thing we're lacking is the drum beat, but we got the bass hitting what the kick drum would
Yeah.
do, and then the
Right.
mandolin stopping where the snare drum would hit. So I mean, I think traditional country music and bluegrass are super similar. And I think when you get to even bluegrass, modern bluegrass and modern country, they've kind of established their own identities to a certain degree. But back until not too long ago, I mean, and there's still people out there doing that kind of stuff. They're very similar.
So in one of your songs, you mentioned Zydeco. How do you know about Zydeco? You were so young. I didn't
Oh
figure out
gosh,
Zydeco
what
until I
song
was,
is that?
oh, what? It was one of your solo songs. I just listened to it this morning.
Oh my goodness,
But
I'm trying to think.
hold on. You know what? Let me look. Let me look. Let me look and see. Maybe I can tell which one it was.
This goes to show you that I have no idea what lyrics I'm singing. I'm probably saying a different word than Zydeco, to be honest with you, and
It's
thinking that the right
Zydeco.
one.
I was like, how does this boy know about Zydeco? Because it took me for I lived in Louisiana for a short while, and that's how I
Yeah,
was introduced to Zydeco. And I was like,
let's see. It wasn't
oh, hold
I'm
on.
sure it was a cover. I know that I've never written the word Zydeco because, to be
Uh,
honest, I don't think I could define it. Uh,
I just wanted to know how you knew about it. I was like, wait a minute, how does this boy know Zydeco? Um, I'm looking. Hold on. Oh, what was it? It's one of your singles, Dadgummit. Well,
um, was it bluegrass?
no. Hold on. I just literally just listened to it this morning. Let me see. It's not
I'm
pulling up
trying
now.
to think.
All right. Well, I
It's
won't
just
worry about that.
backing me
But
up.
okay, so band versus solo. I know that question's gonna haunt us this whole
I'll
interview.
be thinking about it. I'll send you a message later and
Okay.
explaining why I can't remember songs that I've recorded.
Okay. Um, band versus solo. Which do you prefer?
Band, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, I love bluegrass music. I moved to Nashville a couple years ago,
Okay.
and I went to Nashville, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. All I knew is I wanted to do something that would keep me busy Monday through Friday while the before the band gets busy on the weekends. And I started songwriting, and I really fell in love with writing country music, traditional country music,
Yeah.
and I think I'm better at writing country music for whatever reason than I am writing bluegrass music. But I
Interesting.
definitely enjoy playing and singing bluegrass music
Yeah.
more than country. I love them both. I grew up in both bluegrass and your traditional 70s,
Yeah.
80s, 90s. So then things kind of started taking off writing in town, and we got a couple songs that we were proud of, and I was like, well, we need to put out some country music, and see
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happens. And and I love them both. It's so hard to really like pick one, but
Yeah.
right now the way you formatted the question, band versus solo, 100% the band. Those are my best friends.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that we can. If you can go out on the road every weekend and still like these guys.
That's a
That's
plus, right? Well,
Yes, and then anytime I do a country thing, if it's got a band, it's kind of I'm making calls. I don't have a full-time band. So
yeah.
obviously I'm not as close to anybody that I play country music with.
Right.
But yeah, band, the Iron Mountain, they're my guys.
Yeah,
They're
yeah. And you guys sound great together. You got an
thank
incredible
you.
harmony. Um, so speaking of music writing, your solo songs talk about a lot of heartbreak, a lot of it. And I'm like, you are too young to have experienced all of this. So are you writing from experience? Are you writing more from just general public knowledge of, oh, this is how country songs go?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where I just grew up so immersed in the old heartbreak ballads of country music. I love sad songs. I'm a happy individual, but I will go down the road and listen to 10 sad songs before I'll listen to anything. That's the only kind of songs that make me like feel anything is a good
Yeah.
old
Good old
oh,
sappy, sad songs. Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
So I would say when I'm writing them, I'm kind of more,
In that
and
zone.
everybody tells you to write from experience, but and there's been a few experiences, but not anything crazy.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I'm just trying to pull from my heroes and what I think they would say in a song. And yeah, the love life has been great for me. I got married in June, so I haven't had any
Exciting.
haven't had any horror stories from
I
that.
did not realize
So,
you were married.
yeah,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. And
Thank you so much.
the first couple of years are usually the roughest because you're getting to know each other. But after
I
that,
tell you what, no, we moved into a house here in Cookeville, Tennessee, about after the honeymoon, so about the beginning of July, and man, we're loving it. It's been nice to because we were long distance before, and then I was on the road on the weekends. She
yeah,
was from where I'm originally from in Johnson City area of Tennessee,
yeah.
and then I was living in Nashville, so I barely get to see her any. And now, at least Monday through Thursday, most of the time we're home
Right.
together. It's been
That's,
great. We've been
that's
loving it.
so good. So good. I'm excited to hear that. Um, so my next question. Because you've been doing this since you were like knee high to a grasshopper, is what people will say.
Yes.
um, so how are you able to keep it fresh and fun, like, and not lose your love for it and your, because I mean, you've been doing it for forever. Like,
Yeah, I think to a certain degree, I don't think I could ever get burnt out doing it because if I could, I would have already. It's
yeah,
been
yeah,
something that I've always done. And I think establishing that at an early age, that's just part of my
yeah.
life. And,
It looks kind of like the do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
exactly. I feel like, at our busiest, this time of year, by September, October, we're kind of like, okay, this is kicking our tails, but it's never gosh, I don't want to go out on the road this weekend. By
Yeah,
the time we get back on Monday, like right now, if you ask me if we had a show, tomorrow in, Washington State or something, I would not be too excited to get on a plane. But by Thursday, give me a
yeah,
couple days of rest, I'm ready to go back and do it again. And I think, and all the guys feel the same way about it too. I think there's just a something in you, you got to be slightly crazy to want to do this every weekend, but we all love it. And
believe it.
um, but yeah, it's I think some people love it and some people like to play music and that's it. And the road life is something that they don't enjoy, and that's totally valid. There's a lot of great pickers that don't get on the road anymore.
Yeah,
Maybe by the time I'm 40, I'll feel the same way. But
yeah.
right now, I'm
You're
eating it up.
young, go for it. Okay, so um, I've had this question often with my husband. Uh, like, why do you sing into the one singular mic? Like, why doesn't everybody have their own mic? Because that's
Yeah.
something I'm always been curious about.
Yeah, it's there's a few reasons for that. I'd say the biggest reason that we like it for is the energy of the show that you can kind of get from moving around and almost hitting each other and not, and for the first few shows when we did that, we were bouncing off each other the whole time. So there's a certain element of like I don't want to say choreography because it's
Yeah,
definitely not anything that complicated, but there's a certain element of like, hey, I'm gonna sing this verse, then I'm gonna get over here real quick, and it just kind of feels like uh we're active in it. I
yeah,
think a lot of bands, and there's nothing wrong with this at all, but sometimes when I'm watching a show, I like to see people moving around on stage, and when
mhm,
you have those individual mics, it's hard to move around because you've got to
right.
be stuck up right in that mic the whole
Well, and
time.
it's
And
like it's a lot of the bluegrass genre seems to gravitate towards that. And I
yeah,
wondered if it was the harmony or if it was something about the mic that,
yeah.
you know,
Well, and those you're right, you're spot on. Those are the other reasons we do it. For the musicality of it, I like being able to just hear what these guys are singing, not because I'm hearing it in my ear monitors, but
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm hearing it in my actual ears.
yeah,
And so we'll all do one ear monitor out and go
yeah,
around that vocal mic, and we'll see we can actually hear each other and blend a little better that way, I think. And then and that's the way that they did it back in the day as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Kind of the other reason we do it is it's got a traditional vibe for it.
See,
And
that's what I wondered too, if it was more tradition or if it was more practicality
yeah,
or.
kind of a mix for us, and I think for a lot of the bands that do it. I know like Appalachian Roadshow, for example. I know it's a big part of their show is running around stage and keeping it high energy, and we respect that, and that's kind of what we're shooting for is to just have that fluidity to the show to it.
Yeah. So I know that you have a very strong faith, and I admire that incredibly about you. Um,
Thank you.
I I'm wondering because I can see where God has had a hand in your, journey from the tiny little fiddle at the garage sale or whatever it was, a flea market that you guys went to that was just
Yes.
your size. I mean, really, let's just say, how many times does that happen? Like,
Yeah.
sorry about the dogs, but you
Oh,
don't
you're fine.
typically see a tiny little baby fiddle for
Yeah.
for a 2-year-old at a flea market. I mean, I've been to plenty, and
Yeah. Exactly.
so I can see where that was a God moment. Um, oh, it was a fiddle, honey. I know what I'm talking about. Um, so how do you see God's hand in your life? Thus, do you feel like he's played a big role in your life or a
Absolutely. It's one of those things where you can't even begin to describe the things that I've been blessed enough to do without mentioning God. He's definitely had a hand in everything that, from these chance meetings that have happened with people to that have led to cool things happening, and that it's one of those things where, I don't feel like by any means I deserve to be the one that got to do all this cool stuff, and you just got to be thankful for the opportunities and try to use them to lead people to Him. We always try to do at least a few gospel songs wherever we go, and profess our faith. We don't want to harp it on people, and we try to do it in a tasteful manner to where it's we feel like our job is more to plant the seed than to do anything else. Ever that's once you plant the seed, you can't really you can't force anybody to believe what you believe, but we definitely want to make it known what we do believe. And
yeah.
yeah, if it wasn't for the good Lord, we wouldn't be doing any of this. He's the
Oh,
one that gave us these talents in the beginning to do this, and we think it's our responsibility to use them to glorify Him. And
awesome.
yeah,
A
absolutely. I
lot of
think.
wisdom for somebody your age. That is a lot
Thank
of
you.
wisdom.
I
Um,
appreciate.
how do you, because as a lot of individuals have become famous, they may have started out in in the faith or in a Christian genre, and as they've
Mhm.
gotten more fame, they've drifted away. So, what is your thoughts on staying rooted? Like how? Because it seems like you are still pretty rooted, despite some of the fame that you've had. But like, what are your tips, tricks, thoughts?
Well, I don't feel like we're very famous at all. So it's one of those things where I think maybe convincing yourself. I've just always had the outlook of man, this is cool that I've gotten to do this, but I'm very lucky and very blessed to be in this situation. What's it called, imposter syndrome or whatever. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm eat up with that. We all are. So that's one of the things, I think a lot of the times people let it get to their head, and at a certain level of fame, it's really hard not to let that
right,
happen.
right.
I'm not there yet, and I hope and pray that I'm able to meet that with maturity and keeping grounded, and that's a priority to me. If that ever does happen. But I think, so far, we have had some momentum going, and we've gotten to play some cool places, and I think just remembering how that happened, and knowing that's a blessing from the good Lord. And
Yeah,
you can do everything you can do on your end, but at the end
yeah,
of the day, it's Him that's opening these doors, and we're just
absolutely.
walking through them. So that's kind of the way we look at it. And
Yeah, that's a brilliant perspective. Um, so have you checked everything off your bucket list?
Um, I've checked more things off than I thought I was going to at this age. So we're on track. There's a few. We all want. I've added some to the bucket list since I've
Okay,
started
let's hear
songwriting.
it. Let's hear it. What do you got? What have you
Um,
added?
let's see. The most recent addition, let's see, was I wanted a number one on the country side of things,
Absolutely.
um, as a songwriter.
Yeah.
And for the bluegrass thing, we definitely want to get some more radio play. That's on the bucket list, and
Yeah.
getting some heavy spinach from some stations, and all that good stuff. There's been a few festivals that are on the bucket list. We like I
Awesome.
said, we played in Colorado this week. We drove past Red Rocks, and I guess that's on
Oh, it's
everybody's.
beautiful. Red Rocks is gorgeous. We went
Yeah.
to
So
see a concert at Red Rocks for our anniversary, and it
oh,
was
awesome.
incredible. So yeah, I will
Yeah,
definitely.
that's definitely on the bucket list as far as venues. And then uh, our banjo player and our bass player now, they haven't gotten to play the Opry yet. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
definitely we're definitely working towards getting back there, and and bringing the band out there and getting those guys on the stage, because that's definitely been the most special thing that me and our mandolin player and well, golly, it's just me and the mandolin player out of the band that have played the Opry now. So our guitar, bass, and banjo player haven't
All
played
right.
it yet.
So
So
you got a
we'll
goal.
have to
You got to
get them
get
out there, and that's priority uno. So
there. Well, I'll definitely be praying that doors open for all of those things to happen.
thank you.
So, um, now Anne's Arbor is all about paying it forward, giving back to God what He's given us, blessing others, those types of things. Do you have a cause or a organization that is near and dear to your heart that you support that you would like your fans to know about?
You know, I have let's see, there's been a few benefits that we've done um that have been towards really great causes. We've partnered a couple times with St. Jude and done
Thank
you know,
you.
some concerts with them back in the day. And I think a lot of people are aware of that foundation, but it doesn't make it any more special what they do and
Yeah.
everything. So I guess that would be as far as people that I've directly dealt with, that I can tell you that are salt of the earth people.
So what do you have a heart for though? Because I was a single mom for years, and that's kind of how Ann Arbor started, was because I was a single mom, and I wanted, I had God bless me through so many people throughout the years, a new car, helping me with rent or helping me with groceries, just those little
Yeah,
things that really made such a huge difference in my world. And so I wanted to be able to do that for other single moms to just
for
take some of
sure.
the pressure off. So do you have anything like that that's just near and dear to your heart that you are like, I want to support this. I want this is what pulls at my heart.
Yeah, yeah, I've always had a soft spot for little kids, whether they were perfectly healthy kids or kids struggling with anything. In music, I feel like kids are the ones that react the most organically to music.
Yes,
And
I
it's
agree.
so awesome to see. And we've got all kinds of little kids that'll come up to us after the show and shake our hands and stuff. And anything that helps out less fortunate kids or sick kids. That's something that we always jump at the opportunity to do, and we try to do as many benefit concerts as we can for those groups of people. And so yeah, I think if I had to narrow it down to one thing that I feel like I have an innate that I'm drawn to
Yeah,
that to
yeah,
want to help people out. It's definitely kids
yeah.
and their
So the
faces when.
St. Jude's would fits really well in line with that. So that works perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate all the time that you spent talking to me today. Is there anything? Well, first of all, Coleman, Alabama, you've got something coming up, right? In Coleman?
Yes, that's exactly right. Let me get the details of all this, because
Yeah.
I will mess it up. I can't remember where we're playing this weekend, let alone anything else. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy summer for us, which has been nice. But
Yeah.
let's see here.
Is
Think
Coleman
I-
your next gig, or do you have something?
No, we've got probably uh 10 in between here and
Okay.
then.
Yeah, it's just the one that's closest to me, I think, is the reason
Yes,
why.
yes.
Yeah.
I know for a fact we've got. I'm can't find the information for it, but I know we're there. Let me look it up on
Oh, that's all
Google.
right. So what website do they need to go to find your touring information and all that good stuff?
Yes.
Learn more about you.
Um, you can find all of our tour dates on our website, carsonandironmt.com.
Okay.
Um, and that'll link you to all the things we're going to be doing this year and as we schedule anything. And let's see, I think I found this gig here.
Oh,
Here we
okay.
go. We're going to be at Festus's Bluegrass in the Ridge, and that's going to be, let me find their website. You can get that on festusbluegrassintheridge.com. And
Uh,
all those, all the information there, I'll start reading off a little bit of it. We're 60 days away, first off. So that's going to be, it's November 14th is when we're going to
okay.
be there.
There you go.
Um, I knew it was one weekend in November. I didn't want to say the wrong one.
Yeah.
But Ralph Stanley's second's going to be there on the Saturday. We're going to be there Friday, and Ralph two's going to be there Saturday. And there's all kinds of other bands there. There's Remedy Tree, the Johnson Brothers, Southside Collective, Cotton Picking Kids, Dry Creek, Colin and Kathleen Ray. It's gonna be a great fest.
It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah,
Fun time.
yeah, definitely check that out. And I gotten to know Festus real well, and he's a great dude. So so definitely check that out. Festus'sBluegrassintheRidge.com.
All
And
right. Is there
yeah,
anything else you want to add or say, or is there something I have forgotten to ask that you might want to share?
I think you covered most of
And I
it.
tried to ask questions
Um,
that were not repeat questions. You know what I mean? Because you get the same kind
yes,
of questions over and
yes, it's
over
been
again.
nice to get the
Yes.
wheels turning. You know, it's usually cut and pastes, and no, I'm
Right,
glad
right, right.
I can tell you've done your research.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, I
Yes,
appreciate
ma'am.
you and I enjoy you, and I'll definitely be listening to you, and I'll be telling everybody else about you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.